They say that when God speaks, he does it quietly. And if our hearts are noisy or chattering, we don't hear him speak. How many of you really listen? I mean, listen with your entire being, not just your ears, but your heart, your mind, and your soul. Well, that happened to me the other day, coming back from my training in August from the JMT. I was listening to CDs from John Maxwell, Paul Martinelli, and Les Brown. And as I rode down the road, I'd turn off those CDs and reflect on what I had learned and what I could use to make a difference. Well, after going a mile down the road, I knew I needed to turn off on an exit. But I waited to 3 exits before I really listened and then turned off the road. Barely waiting for the car to stop, I pulled out a pen and my paper and started writing frantically for 30 minutes. I knew I had written a speech for someone I had not met yet. But if I would let my heart get quiet, I would find that person. 3 days later, I was doing retail therapy. Have any of you done that? Going past stores I'd always shopped at, but knowing they weren't the right ones for me that day. And then seeing a boutique over on the right-hand side of the road. I pulled in. Was this the right place for me? Walking in and meeting Eddie and feeling the passion as he talked about his dreams and what he wanted to do and how he wanted to serve his community. All of a sudden, Eddie cocked his head and looked at me and said, "Barbara, what do you do?" Still high from my John Maxwell trip and those CDs, I started to explain. He gets this smile on his face. It lights up his entire face, and he runs behind his counter into a once neat desk and starts throwing things everywhere. "Barbara, I've got someone I want you to meet." "Eddie, I've already met them." And I written their speech. 5 minutes later, Eddie and I are getting our calendars out so that I can go in and speak to his ladies, the Path of Grace, a rehab center for alcohol and drug abuse, a place that makes a difference. Don't let your heart become so noisy you forget to listen and you miss the very opportunity you have been praying for. Listen, listen.